Every 4 years, millions of football fans fall into the exact same trap. We build predictive models, crunch the numbers, and convince ourselves we already know who will lift the World Cup. The algorithms fire up, and the output always points to the usual suspects: Argentina, France, Brazil, England, Spain, and Portugal. On paper, the math seems airtight. Analysts rank these teams by calculating their astronomical squad valuations and dissecting tactical blueprints. They look at rosters packed with elite players and assume that dominance in a domestic league will naturally translate to international success. But international tournaments function differently than a club season. A 38-game schedule is a test of consistency, where a wealthy team can afford to drop points on a Tuesday and recover by Saturday. A knockout tournament is an exercise in pure survival. One bad half of football or one tactical misstep can end 4 years of preparation in 45 minutes. History is filled with squads packed with talent that failed on the international stage. The iconic Dutch squad of the 1970s brought revolutionary tactics and elite players to the pitch, yet they lacked the specific resilience needed when the margins tightened in the final. A generation later, France arrived in 2002, holding the titles of both world and European champions. They fielded the top goalscorers from 3 different major domestic leagues, yet they failed to score a single goal and exited in the group stage. The 2018 German national team brought a meticulously engineered tactical system and a roster of proven winners to Russia. That system was dissected by the chaos of tournament football, sending the defending champions home after round 1. Most prediction models are calibrated to measure talent rather than a team's capacity to manage disorder. Because the 2026 World Cup introduces logistical complexities we have never seen before, applying those old models to this new tournament will result in massive forecasting failures. The upcoming tournament breaks every historical precedent. FIFA is expanding the bracket to 48 teams, which means more matches, a longer schedule, and a heavier physical strain placed on players already arriving exhausted from their club seasons. This map shows a tournament split across 3 massive host nations. Teams must navigate immense flight corridors across the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Crossing these distances means managing severe time zone shifts and altitude changes, turning minor fatigue into tournament-ending injuries. This massive geographical footprint functions as a physical equalizer. It degrades the baseline challenge advantage of the favored teams, forcing squads to rely on deep rotation and endurance rather than their preferred starting 11. While traditional models treat favorites as perfect machines, a closer look at the top-tier teams reveals a collection of serious underlying vulnerabilities. For instance, Argentina faces the reality of replacing an aging generation of legends, while Brazil continues to search for a cohesive tactical identity that can withstand highly organized opponents. Every heavy favorite has a structural crack waiting to be exploited under pressure. While the global media zeroes in on those cracks, unexpected contenders are quietly preparing out of the spotlight. These teams possess a strategic advantage by operating without the crushing weight of public expectation. We saw the effectiveness of this ambush strategy in Qatar. Morocco bypassed traditional predictive filters, absorbing pressure and eliminating European giants to reach the semifinals. By the time the analysts noticed their tactical discipline, the favorites were already heading home. The obsession with a handful of elite nations generates the blind spots required for an underdog to thrive. Ultimately, the most destructive variable in tournament football remains the unquantifiable, suffocating reality of extreme mental pressure. We love to measure data points like expected goals or passing accuracy, but those metrics do not account for the emotional weight of stepping up to a penalty spot with the hopes of 80 million people resting on a single kick. Many of the world's most technically gifted players dominate the comfortable environment of their club stadiums. However, when they are dropped into the high-stakes isolation of a World Cup knockout match, that confidence frequently shatters. Psychological resilience acts as the ultimate filter, removing talented squads that lack the mental fortitude required to survive when their tactical plan falls apart. The World Cup is a volatile environment defined by controlled chaos, not a solvable mathematical equation. Knockout football is decided by microscopic, unpredictable margins, a deflection off a defender, a controversial referee decision, or a single mistimed tackle. Any one of these moments dictates who moves forward and who goes home. To assess the landscape for 2026, we must look past the metrics that analysts usually rely on. Star power and perfect media narratives are poor indicators of who can survive 7 games in 30 days. The team that lifts the trophy in North America will be the one demonstrating the highest threshold for adaptability. They will be the group capable of absorbing travel fatigue, ignoring media noise, and executing under duress. World Cups are won on the pitch through resilience. While the models look the other way, a future champion is already preparing to navigate the chaos.